What's going on, guys? Bflattened here with a brand new build video today. That's right, level 65 build videos are returning. So this is going to be the upgrade to our evil Moze that we made previously. This is going to be a little bit different. This is no longer just evil manufacturers. This is going to display some of the new weapons and upgrading some of our old weapons. Let's get right into it, shall we? So there's a big debate and debacle between orange and green tree, and we'll get into that in just a second. But first, the standard blue tree. We got 5 points into fire in the stag's den, 2 points into drizzle just to move down the tree a little bit, torque cross promotion, means of destruction, pull the holy pin, auto bear, vampire, to the last, and short fuse. This kind of skill tree and setup is going to be allowing you to do your splash damage, your fire damage with splash damage, vampire to heal, auto bear for distraction and target softening so that you can kill off bosses easily. To the last can let you throw grenades and fight for your life. Torque cross promotion allows you to get splash damage, and also you can get higher splash radius. Short fuse gun damage becomes splash damage, and pull the holy pin, you can crit. Means of destruction is going to be one of your sustain for your ammo, so that you can not have to invest as much as you are forced to in the green tree. Means of destruction is very, very nice for this. Okay, so let's get into the orange versus green tree sort of debate, and I'll tell you the functions of both. So the green tree is going to be more like utility and survival based. I use Cloud of Lead for damage so that we sometimes don't consume ammo for fire. Stoke the Embers for extra fire damage. This is going to be Fire in the Stag's Den, Cloud of Lead. We have a Hell Walker, things like that. I put 3 points in Scrappy because there's 3 points that I had extra, and Scrappy is a really nice skill just for movement and getting weapon damage off of movement. Redistribution is very important. You can get ammo regen after scoring a crit. This also counts for pull the holy pin, any sort of crit with multiple pellets, that sort of thing. You can get regeneration of ammo and HP. It's very, very nice. If you want to invest into the green tree further, instead of red tree, I would suggest scorching RPMs for increased fire rate and crit hit damage. Iron Bank is very nice for mag size. Click is also pretty important with the style of build that I'm working with. However, in red tree, we get more damage out of it. So yeah, if you want to have like a more like ammo sustained build, and if you have like a decent all-rounder kind of build, green tree is good for that. Some for the road is great. Forge is great for ammo regen. Click, the lower that you have in your mag size, you get increased gun damage. And COV, you gain more damage as your heat increases with a COV weapon. It's a nice tree, but this Moze is going to be strictly damage. So let's get into the orange tree and we'll show off some of that strict damage. Armored infantry, you get damage reduction and gun damage just for having this full with your shields. Since we're running a deathless build, your shields are always going to be active, so this is just a constant passive that's always going to be applied to you. Drowning in brass, whenever you get a kill steal, you get a stack of drowning in brass, and then you get fire rate reduction and gun damage increased for both you and your allies. The fire rate reduction is nice. It actually works in sync with the build really, really nicely. It allows for decent returns whenever we're spamming our cloning maddening tracker, so we can gain some ammo back with that reduced fire rate. We can sustain it a little bit easier. Plus, we also get gun damage along and on top of our sustainment. Very, very nice. Vladoff, you get max shield and shield recharge rate, and you gain resistance to shock damage. We're not using a transformer, so the shock resist is nice. We get more shield and we get more shield recharge rate. You can't really go wrong with this, and we don't really need thin red line because we have a deathless. We don't really need it. Experimental munitions, whenever Moze or Iron Bear scores a crit, you get bonus fire damage. Again, we're doing pull the holy pin to crit with nades. We have redistribution, we have multiple pellet guns. We're going to be scoring a lot of crits, and why not get some bonus fire damage on top of that with Stoke the Embers, Fire in the Stag's Den. It just kind of piles on top of each other, you know. I put 1 point into behind the Iron Curtain just so I can move down the tree a little bit further. Your shield recharge delay is reduced, your shield recharge rate is increased. Again, we were only working with shields this entire time, so it's nice. And now it's time for the heavy hitters. We have max points in desperate measures. You get gun damage and Iron Bear's weapon damage are increased based on how low my HP is. I'm forcing myself at 1 HP with a deathless, so we get 100% gun damage on top of everything else. Phalanx Doctrine. After killing an enemy, Moze gains a stack of Phalanx Doctrine. For every stack of it, your max shield and gun damage are increased, and each stack lasts 30 seconds. If you say get 5-6 kills in 30 seconds or so, you're going to be scoring a lot of gun damage and a lot of shields. Now, these stacks are super duper important because there is no stack limit. The faster and more that you kill, the more gun damage you're getting. Kill off trash mobs first, start going into your heavy hitters after that. You'll be sweeping battlefields with no problems. Desperate measures and Phalanx Doctrine is also increased with our class mods, so we get even more points and benefits with it. And we're going to be rocking a full URAD setup except for our back burner, which is ASC splash damage. You can rock any sort of thing on here. ASC splash damage is nice, URAD is nice. You can also work with consecutive hits, that's also pretty decent. You can also work with Iron Bear fire damage after action still end is really nice. Whatever you're comfortable with. 390s can sometimes work if you want to use it for mobbing, but I like to use splash damage for bossing. This is our boss weapon. So we're rocking an old god for our gear. Bonus shock damage because we're rocking a blood-starved beast. This is going to be one of our main weapons. Light show is another main mobbing weapon, so it's really nice to have that extra shock damage. ASC fire damage so that we can have it on top of all of our other fire damage investments that we're going with. It's very nice. The elemental damage resist on the old god is going to pile on top of our shock resist, which is even nicer. And we also get max capacity with this as well because it rolled in booster. Cloning Maddening Tracker, this is going to be our sustain. Every single time that we throw this, we get weapon damage every 6 seconds. Is when it will reset, so make sure to throw at least one every 6 seconds. It's going to be our vampire sustain, so it's very nice. Atom Bomb Deathless, since we're always swinging for URAD with all of our main weapons, we're going to be doing more radius damage, we're going to be doing more explosions with it, it'll blow up an entire battlefield. This one rolls in meg size, area of effect damage, and radiation damage, and with that meg size being as high as it is, we can actually get multiple shots out of the Hellwalker before we quote-unquote have to reload. If we spare our shots, you can technically get infinite ammo out of the Hellwalker. For our Green Tree users, if you roll in Some for the Road, and if you enter and exit Iron Bear with the Hellwalker in your hand, you can technically get 5 free seconds of just free range fire of the Hellwalker. So if there's a boss you don't like, or if there's a bunch of mobs in your way and you want to clear them out quickly, Some for the Road and Hellwalker are crisp together. I have reused them and I have worked with them quite a lot in the past. It hits a lot. It hits hard. And we're also using the Bloodletter like we mentioned before. This is just our same one from our Evil Moze. Splash damage, weapon damage, heavy weapon damage, 3-2 split in desperate measures and Phalanx Doctrine. If you heal your shields. We know the Bloodletter effect. That's what we have. So our weapons are going to be the Hellwalker. It's a big buff recently. It slaps, it hits hard, it's URAD, it works with the build. It is fire, it is radiation at all times, and also we get to have fire damage increased with all of our skills. It hits really hard. So this is going to be a new weapon from the Krieg DLC. This is the Blood-Starved Beast. It is a dull SMG. Consumes 2 ammo per shot. This one rolled in shock and URAD, and also because of our fire. With Cloud of Lead, we can swing with this thing for 3 different elements at every given time. It has really nice sustain. It has a lot of mag size with it, with our mag size passive. It hits hard, and I'm going to show you just exactly what it does. You can get it off of Evil Lilith at a very low rate. It's really hard to get. Backburner for bossing, and a URAD light show just for general mobs if you don't like something, if you want to boost up consecutive hits for some reason. This is a really good choice. Some other things we have in here, there's Minesweepers, Blastmasters if you want to roll with redistribution Blastmasters, some old Chaos, bunch of different things in here as well. Extra cloning Maddening Trackers if you need them for some reason. A different rolled Atom Bomb Deathless if you want to do heavy damage. Bunch of different things. Play around with things. There's a lovable Rogue in here, another new DLC item. Play around with a few things. There's a few criticals in there as well. Really, really nice. So this is the build. You want to start off by doing some cloning maddening trackers. Get everything nice and aggroed at you. Shoot your blood-starved beast, things die in 2 hits. That was a one-shot. That guy just died just for existing. See, I was doing something bad there. I was not throwing any cloning maddening trackers. If you don't throw cloning maddening trackers, you suffer. Now here's a neat little interaction that you can do with the with our ammo gain. If you don't want to fully reload, you don't have to. Every single time in between your reload animation, here I'll show you. In between your reload animation, you can throw a cloning maddening tracker and cancel the reload. And because of all the crits that are coming through, and because of our ammo sustain, we are going to be throwing in more ammo into the gun. It makes it so that we can just continuously fire without having to reload. The ammo consumption for this thing is heavy. I will be completely honest with you. It is a fast fire rate weapon. Drowning in brass doesn't really help it that much, but it helps quite a lot more than it normally does. All the mag size that we have thrown into here also helps. Canceling our reload is also a good thing. Let's switch to some of our other weapons that we have here. Here's our light show. This nice shotgun URAD swings a lot, lots of explosions, everything's dying really easily, really quickly. I haven't really needed to spam the cloning maddening tracker that much this entire fight, but it's there in case you need it and you need the life and you need the ammo. It is there for you. One thing to keep in mind, you do want to step back from it. You don't want to get too close to your cloning maddening tracker because it can proc Fire in the Skag's Den, and Fire in the Skag's Den is doing a lot right now because of all of our fire damage. If you get too close to the cloning maddening tracker in this case, it can down you. Yeah, so here's what I was talking about, the Hellwalker. Normally it's only a one shot until you reload, but because of Cloud of Lead, you sometimes don't consume ammo. Because of our mag size, we also have 2 shots out of it. And also, if you can get more ammo regen whenever you shoot it, you can actually keep the sustain rolling for as long as you want. That was just a flamethrower heavyweight there, and we ran it over in like 2 shots. This build and setup has pretty much everything that you need mobbing wise. Bossing wise, you'll probably want to switch to backburners. If you want to melt off a shield, the blood-starved beast can do that for you. If you need to shut off HP, the Hellwalker could do that for you. This build is going to be swinging for at least 2 elements at all given times. If you kill off trash mobs really quickly, you can stack your Phalanx Doctrine for more weapon damage. It does a lot. Make sure you're always moving as well so that you can always keep Scrappy procced. Scrappy is as long as you're moving, you get weapon damage. So the more that you're moving, the more damage you're doing. This counts for any type of movement. If you're running, if you're jumping, if you're sliding, as long as you're moving in any way, shape, or form, you are proccing Scrappy. You have to have some sort of movement going on, and Scrappy will be active for you. The only way that it's not active is if you're standing completely still and doing nothing. Aiming down sights obviously doesn't count for movement. You are technically moving your hands, but that doesn't count for any sort of movement speed. You need to actually be moving. Alright, how fast can we kill Chupacabra here? Nice and easy. Hellwalker takes care of it all. One shot. That was just due to all the rats that we killed off earlier, and we just threw all the Phalanx Doctrine and Scrappy into those guys. Feel kind of bad for them. Everything here generally gets 1 to 2 shot. If you can get your radiation explosions going, I didn't throw a cloning maddening tracker. If you can get your radiation explosions rolling, to nearby enemies. That's what you'll get off whenever you shoot something with URAD attached, and the atom bomb will have the extra radius. I should have used a blood-starved beast on him. Generally, everything here should be 1 to 2 shot. Tron should take all of 5 seconds. He's nice and easy. If you want, you can get a Sandhawk for Grave Ward. Big flying enemies like that would be kind of a pain in the ass. Now, finally, for our green tree users, if you want to do a quick little swap out, I don't have a build set up at the moment, but what I would do is I would only invest into armored infantry and drowning in brass, and then use the rest of these points to move over to the green tree. Things that I would pick up would probably be scorching RPMs. If you don't use cloning, maddening tracker, and vampire, you can use rushing offense just to move and do lifesteal. With scrappy, that's actually pretty nice. Otherwise, you want to do cloning, maddening tracker, and vampire. Iron Bank is great. You get increased mag size. It's very, very nice for things like the Bloodstarved Beast. Hellwalker is also pretty nice, but we kind of have that already with our Atom Bomb Deathless with our mag size. Click is really, really good. Every single time we drop our magazine size down to really, really low, we can throw a cloning maddening tracker to cancel the reload, and we can continuously fire, which will make it so that we have a quote-unquote lower magazine size at all times without fully restocking and reloading. Some for the road is pretty decent. Enter, exit Iron Bear, get 5 free seconds of free fire, whatever you want to shoot. Forge, you can regen ammo just by holding the weapon in your hand. It's great. It's a good capstone. But red tree here is just for all gun damage and like stacking damage as well between drowning in brass and failings doctrine. So that's the build. I think that's everything that I've covered. There's going to be a save download for this if you want to take anything out of here. There's light shows, there's boomsicles, there's criticals, there's lovable rogues. Take whatever you need. Found an unkempt herald. I want to thank the entire community that we have in the Bflattened band, because this build probably wouldn't be finished as quickly as it has been without them. This is between myself and everybody else that hangs out in streams. We all put this build together. Hellwalker I found, Bloodstarved Beast was epic NNG, light shows and cloning maddening trackers. I was between Mass Fusion and Ratchet. Everybody, there was a lot of help that went into this build, and we got it all out quickly as possible so that we could showcase it for you. My name is Bflattened, and I'm signing on out of here. Take care all. Laters.